I've never been as happy as right now, but shit, I gotta cope with the fact that it dies down. Cause in the end, I just wake up salty, start my day with a pot of black coffee.
We are back with the second part of the 6-part Summer of Final Fantasy series. I am honestly shocked I can get this out as fast as I did, but the first 3 episodes of the series will be the shortest ones of the bunch. It's only going to get longer when we get to the Super Nintendo games. Also, we're only on the 2nd episode of this series, and we're talking about the black sheep of the family. Final Fantasy II was released in December of 1988, exactly a year after the release of the original. This game never actually released in North America on the NES, since we didn't get the first Final Fantasy until 1990, and the Super Nintendo was already around the corner. We did get it later on other systems like the Game Boy Advance and the PlayStation Portable. The Final Fantasy II that we got here in America on the Super Nintendo is actually Final Fantasy IV, and Final Fantasy VI was called Final Fantasy III. But back to this game being the black sheep, I don't really know too much about this game despite actually owning it from my PSP from when I was a kid. I also wasn't very good at RPGs back then, so that may be why. This also is not really a sequel to Final Fantasy I, but that's actually a pretty cool thing. As a player, you don't need to play every game before that point, but as a game designer, you don't need to be held to the same restrictions of the prior games. While you do have to keep some things together, like systems and concepts and some character races, it does allow for creativity, and if something doesn't go as great, then you can go back to the drawing board. But let's see why this game has the reputation that it has. Time to continue the Summer of Final Fantasy with Final Fantasy II. Alright, we can rename the characters, but we're gonna keep them the same since they actually have canon names. We also don't have classes anymore, so this is gonna be an interesting change. We begin with the peace of this world coming to an end as the land is conquered by the Empire of Palamecia, using monsters straight from hell. But not all hope is lost as a rebellion begins in the Kingdom of Flynn, but the kingdom falls as they hide out in the small town of Altair, and it's Star Wars.
I've never heard that one before.
We then pick back up as 4 orphans from Fynn, and we get absolutely obliterated by the Empire's forces. Thankfully, we're saved by the Princess Hilda and Wizard Minwu and taken to Altair, but realize that we're missing Maria's brother Leon. That's pretty rough. We beg the princess to join the rebellion, but we are told that we're not strong enough. Kind of a fair assessment, not even gonna lie. But we're given the password of the rebellion, Wild Rose. This also is the introduction of the game's keyword system, something that is unique to this entry. You can learn different words that can be asked to different characters to progress the story or just get bits of world building. I'm not sure if there are a lot of games that use systems like this, but I thought that it's at least interesting and could probably be better in like a detective game. This is one of a couple features that's unique to this entry and is never used again in another mainline Final Fantasy game. We speak to Minwu, who tells us we should journey to Fynn despite the Empire's occupation. So we head out towards the city, get into some combat, and we learn of another one of the unique systems to this game, skill levels for weapons and spells. But also this game's really weird stat progression. These systems are generally unpopular with the community, and why this game is considered the black sheep, as it's very strange. As you use a weapon type or spell on a character, they start to level up that character's skill with them, making them stronger, but spells can be reset if you need to remove a spell. As for other stats, from what I understand, these grow based on what's done in battle. Use more magic or get hit, you get higher max MP and increased evasion respectively. But you don't properly level up based on experience. Personally, I don't really hate the system, but I can see why there may be some frustration that came up when this game was released. The Pixel Remaster does offer little boosts that you can apply to modify progression, which is nice for getting 100% achievements that include maxing out a weapon skill on a character, but this is an optional feature, although by default it does have curved HP progression, which I'm kinda glad that that's on by default. Back to the game, we get a tip to visit a bar in Fynn. I may not have heeded the warning of being cautious, and yep, I deserve that. Anyway, into the bar, and Citizen, Stormtrooper. We head to the basement of the bar and find one of the soldiers aiding the Princess Scott, who's actually the Prince of Kashan. He's, not doing so hot. But he entrusts us to tell his brother Gordon to be strong and tell the king that the reason the kingdom fell was the betrayal of Count, now General Borgin. He gives us his ring and just dies right there. We head back and show the Princess the ring, which proves our courage, and we're tasked to take a canoe and go with Minwu to get to Salamund and reconnect with Joseph, who's tasked with helping the rebels get Mithril to prepare to take back Fynn. And Minwu is stacked as a healer to get us to Paloom to take a ship across the ocean to Poft, We actually get to meet Sid in the bar and learn about his airship, which serves as a fast travel in the early game. We make it to Salamand and learn the Empire is mining for mithril in the cement mines and enslave the people of the town. So naturally, we have to head down there and prove ourselves to Joseph. I'm just gonna say this now as we take this stroll towards the falls. I am really appreciating the soundtrack of this game. It just feels very much like a fantasy vibe as we explore different towns, and the combat themes are pretty banging too. If you actually pick up the bundle of the Pixel remasters, they include a section of remixed tracks from the soundtracks, as well as some little wallpapers, so that's nice. We make it to the falls to explore the dungeon a bit, a pretty linear cave system full of goblins, yetis, and the occasional Empire soldier, but with these pretty annoying doors that lead to empty rooms to force more encounters. I really don't like that about the level design. We make our way through, meeting back up with Paul, who was caught trying to steal mithril from the Empire, but he leaves that to us and takes everyone to safety. Traveling deeper leads us to the first boss, just a generic sergeant guarding the deposit's mithril. We take him down fairly easily and teleport out there, and sweet mercy, Minwu, what happened? That's just one teleport drains that much health? We return safely to Altair, get some mithril gear, and learn of the Dreadnought, an airship the Empire is building. We head there to Bafsk to investigate, finding a spy in the guards who lets us into the tunnels underneath the city to try to reach the Dreadnought before being confronted by the Black Knight and Borgen, who swiftly leave the Dreadnought. Unfortunately, it's too late and they start bombing Altair and other major towns. We return to Poft and talk to Sid about how to handle the Dreadnought. Boy, let me tell you, you want to destroy that ship? A little bit of sunfire and it'll be blown to bits. What even is sunfire? What is that? You taking my ship back home or what? We take the airship and see how devastating the attacks were, wounding many and causing Minwu to stay behind to help tend to the king's wounds. Speak to the princess and learn that the sunfire is in Kashan, but we can't just carry it back. We need a special torch, but before any of that, we need to be able to get into Kashan, but only people from there can get in, or if we have the goddess spell, we can break the seal, protecting the kingdom. So we go back to meet with Joseph, who is going to help us get through the snow plains to reach the bell in a cave. He joins up, we grab his snowcraft from another cave, and head to the next dungeon. Joseph is a really cool ally, using his fists to deal massive brute damage, handling these yetis with ease. I just wish we had more stat buffing moves in this point in the game. Once inside, I finally figure out that you can multi-target with spells. They are less effective when spread, but that would still be very nice to know. Same goes for buffs too. What the hell? How did I not figure this out? Inside the cave, it's full of the undead, ghosts, and bombs with a burning desire to destroy you, and it's so annoying. Sure glad these guys can't multi-target. Once we are deep enough in the frozen caves, we obviously find beavers and learn that guy can speak beaver. They tell us how to get to the bell, leading to a fight with Amentois. We make quick work of him and take the bell, but we aren't out of the woods, or I guess the caves, just yet. Well, seems you have gotten the bell. I guess I will reclaim it for the Empire. Not on my watch. Do you like Indiana Jones? Joseph, no! Joseph! Your sacrifice will not be in vain. We ride the airship to Kashan and use the bell again, but run into Gordon, who's also came for the Sunfire to help destroy the Dreadnought. So we decide to join up and explore the keep, getting some decent gear along the way. We eventually retrieve the torch from this red soul guarding it, and it's so annoying being immune to all my magic and only going down after a handful of crits. We head back to the start and grab the fire, only to witness the Dreadnought grab Sid's airship with the princess on board, and how it— oh wow, this is just like a new home. We go down to this little spot that's glowing, and oh, chocobos, yes! Chicken jockey! Is that still relevant? Am I still funny? Guys? Am I still funny? We hunt down the ship and start our rescue mission with the plan to destroy the Empire's prized vessel. This place is infested with Imperial captains. But other than the first one, most of these are pretty much optional. There are still some enemies on the ship that are fairly deadly at this point in the game. We rescue the princess and Sid before committing an act of terrorism. Blast it! What have you done? Wait, is that— the ship's gonna blow! We need to go! Back in Altair, we speak to the king, who tasks Gordon to lead the army and Minwu to obtain the ultimatum to help fight the Empire. He then tasks us to enlist the help of the Dragoons and Diced before he passes away. So we head to find a ship that'll take us there. We meet this lady named Layla and offers to give us a ride free of charge. I've got a bad feeling about this. We take down the pirates, but after telling Layla our goal, not only does she join the rebellion, but even gives us free use of the ship and lets us go anywhere we want on the map. It's also nice to have another strong magic user in the party. Most of the other party members we've received up to this point haven't really been worth training magic since they just leave pretty quickly. We arrive at Dice and find a mother and son who tell us all the dragoons have been killed and the wyverns poisoned, the last one dying within the castle walls. After finding a dragoon's pendant, we're able to speak to the wyvern who entrusts us in getting the last egg to the springs in the deepest part of the cavern so it may hatch. We do that as we fight through zombies and toads to reach the springs and handle the Chimera boss pretty easily. We then go all the way back to Altair to tell Princess Hilda the bad news, but she wants to speak privately with Furion.
I want you.
Then we have to handle the Lamia imposter, and she was easily minus the constant sleep being inflicted. Gordon rejoins us as we venture to the Colosseum outside Palamecia to save the princess. But first, we gotta fight the Behemoth. This design is super sick, by the way. I absolutely love how this guy looks. While I love the art and design of the first game, Amano really hit out of the park with these designs, giving the characters a more unique identity that wasn't present in the first, since it was trying to emulate the feeling of playing a pen and paper game. I may have cheesed this fight a little by having Sleep Blade equipped. I'm sure that won't happen again in any harder fights. But we get captured ourselves and then freed by Paul, returning the favor from back in the falls. We save Hilda and make our escape from the dungeon. But now with the princess saved, the time has come. Now with Gordon taking the lead with Hilda, the rebel forces take their charge to reclaim Castle Finn, and this dungeon was really easy, minus the bullshit sorcerers turning the whole party into frogs. Other than that, Godos goes down fast, and Finn returns to Hilda and Gordon. While Minwu has gone to Mysidia to unseal the Ultima Tome, we're told to find the mask needed to aid him in retrieving the spell. You're supposed to talk to Paul in town to find out about using the keyword on the wall to reach the lower levels of the castle, but I just kind of found it on accident searching around. Find the mask and leave for Mysidia. After sailing and finding a bunch of new enemy types, we make it to a city full of mages and gear up with even stronger spells like Holy. We explore, get a lore dump from these books, and put the mask on the statue under the settlement before sailing off to a remote island and search the other mask. We breeze through this dungeon and use this to level our spells and retrieve the other mask. Now we can go to the caves outside Mysidia and use the mask to get past the doppelganger and get the crystal rod to head to the tower. Okay, this fetch quest is going on for a bit long. Can we go a little further? Well, I guess this is a change of pace. Oh shit, we're down a party member now?
Down a member, I'm in.
What are your qualifications?
I'm a dragoon.
You know you're the last one, right?
I'm what?
Ricard joins our party, and dang, this guy's a powerhouse. We fight our way out of the beast and head towards the tower. Heroes, triumph you must over the challenges of this tower to receive the tome to defeat the Empire. Whoa, I didn't know wizards could do that with their voice. No, it's just the echo of the tower, but you gotta prove yourself worthy and stuff. You know, hero's journey, Star Wars, that sort of thing. We make our way up and face many challenging fights with Gigases until we meet with Minwu at the top, who uses all of his strength to unseal the tome. Furion, it's okay. It's my destiny. Hero's journey and whatnot. I don't even know what that means. Just save the world from the Empire. It's up to you now. Thanks to Minwu's sacrifice, we teach Ultima to Furion and get ready to take down the Emperor once and for all. But we return to Finn and find out the Empire is coming our way this time. It is now our time to strike. We finally see the birth of a new wyvern and ride our way to the Cyclone to take on Palmecia's Emperor. We fly into the storm and navigate the Cyclonic Fortress, making use of Ultima to wipe the floor with the monsters patrolling around before coming face to face with the Emperor. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. That's not even your line!
Guy thought you said you'd never seen Star Wars.
We defeat the Emperor and restore peace to the land and have a little dance, and the Dark Knight has taken the throne! We're doomed! Okay, one last fight. Let's ask Sid for the airship. Use my airship over my dead body. Thank you, Sid. We'll make sure to return her to you soon. Off to Palmecia we go, and you know the drill by now. Search for loot, die to this one chest over and over before cheesing it and making our way to the throne. You killed my brother, Dark Knight. No, Maria. I am your brother. Yeah, we kind of figured she's just being a little dramatic.
Did you really think I would let myself die that easily?
We're face to face with the resurrected Emperor, who shows that he's too powerful for us to handle. And Ricard, wait, what are you doing? You have to... Ricard! We fly back to the castle, Leon deciding to drop the edgelord persona long enough to work with us to save the world from the Emperor and the army of hell. But before we head to the path to Castle Pandaemonium, we go tell Ricard's family that his death will not be in vain, obtain Excalibur to represent the dragoons who died defending peace from tyranny, and make our way to the Jade Passage. We travel down, facing many formidable beasts to try and train for what awaits us in Pandaemonium. A lot of these enemies are really scary with how hard they can hit, but we are powerful and we defeat even all the boss chests on the way to get the Genji armor. I have also returned as I am loyal to the Emperor and We also found the sword again, the Masamune. I'm sure this probably won't be super iconic and it's just a traditional fantasy sword like Excalibur. It's not going to be iconic to the series whatsoever. We even take down this game's equivalent of War Mech, Iron Giant, but at least War Mech can kill one of my party members. Let's confront the Emperor once and for all and end this.
So you choose to oppose me, then you shall die. Unlimited power!
Is that it? Garland hits so much harder than this. Like, I know how this works and I'm buffing up properly now, but I thought you'd be stronger. He goes down and the castle falls back to hell. The people rejoice and we know that our friends who gave their lives are looking down on us and whoa, it's just like Star Wars! So that was Final Fantasy II. I could see from a mechanical perspective why this is the least popular of the older games in the franchise. It can be a bit more challenging, especially without having the option to modify EXP gain, but even so, I enjoyed most of my time playing it. I made a lot of jokes about how this is similar to Star Wars, and while it does share some story beats, I think that's pretty cool since Star Wars was inspired by George Lucas's love of Japanese cinema, like films by Akira Kurosawa. Maybe I'll have to re-release these videos as special editions and make some random edits like this one right here. All in all, despite the popular consensus, I actually really loved Final Fantasy II and would definitely recommend this just as much as I recommended the first game. Sometimes you just have to leave your comfort zone and try something new. So far, we're 2 for 2. Let's see if the next game can keep the streak going. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my other videos, like the first part, if you somehow didn't watch it before coming here. Until next time, I'll see you all later.